Hello students, welcome to our regular online classes. I am Mihir Singha, Assistant Teacher English, Doyamoy Singha High School. I hope all of you are safe and sound at home and following our online classes regularly. Today we are going to talk about prepositions, one of the most important topics in English grammar. Why it is so important? Because not only in board exams but in any competitive exams, prepositions is a must. So I hope you will follow the class closely so that you can get out of something out of it. So I have written a sentence. I have drawn a picture on top of the board, a table. Okay, so there is something on the table. Say it a book. Okay, so what we can write? If we make a sentence using the picture, what we can write? There is a book on the table. Okay, so here on is a preposition. Suppose there is no on in the sentence. If there is no on or no preposition in the sentence, then the sentence will stand like this. It doesn't make any sense. There is a book, the table, there is no relationship between a book and the table. So this preposition on creates a bond, a relationship between this book and the table. So it is important to use prepositions in a sentence to relate the words in a sentence. So we can say that the function of preposition is to create or relate the words in a sentence. So the preposition sets in front of a noun. The table is a noun, so it sets in front of a noun or a pronoun and creates a relation between that noun or pronoun with the rest of the sentence. So the function of a preposition is to create a relationship between a noun and pronoun to the with the rest of the words in a sentence. Now let's talk about the next picture. So this is a car, suppose this is a car, and if we place something in the car, that means inside the area of the car, then we can use the preposition in. So suppose there is a box. So it's a box. Say it's a box. So what we can write? There is a box in the car. Okay, so the car is a noun and in is a preposition. So this preposition creates a relationship between the car with the rest of the words in the sentence. So if something is inside a certain area, then we can use in or inside. Okay, and if something is inside an area at a certain place, so this is a certain area and this is the middle. If something is at the corner or here and there somewhere, then we can write at. So say it's a doll over here. Okay, so we can write the doll is at the corner of the car. Okay, so of is a preposition, at is a preposition. Okay, so okay, so the doll is at the corner of the car. Now, so it's say a brick. Okay, suppose it's a brick. So where is the brick? So the brick, the car is on top of the brick. So we can use the preposition under. So the brick is under the car. Okay, the brick is under the car. Suppose the car is coming from somewhere and going to somewhere else. So if we say the car is coming from Maulabibazar Park, so that what is the starting point? Starting point is Maulabibazar Park, and what is the ending point? Kamalganj. Say Kamalganj and say Maulabibazar Park. So the starting point, before the starting point, we can use the preposition from. So from where the car is coming? The car is coming from Maulabibazar Park. So Maulabibazar is a what? Noun. Okay. So Maulabibazar Park is a noun, and the starting point of the van or car is Maulabibazar Park. So we can use the preposition from before Maulabibazar Park. So that means the journey, where the journey starts from, Maulabibazar Park, and before that we have to use the preposition from. And the destination of the car is Kamalganj. So it starts the journey from Maulabibazar and it goes to Kamalganj. So the car is going to Kamalganj. Okay, so the car is going to Kamalganj. So the ending point, before the ending point, we have to use the preposition to. Alright, now let's again go back to the car. So on the way, it goes along the road. Okay, so if something is going along something, I mean straightforward or without any changing of the track, if something goes straight or taking a certain place, then we can use along. Okay, so suppose you are coming to school using a certain road, then you can say you are going to school along the road. Okay, so the car has taken a certain road and it going to Kamalganj straight away. So we can use along. Okay, now another preposition behind. So if something is at the back of something, okay, so this is my front side. If something is there at the back of my body, or okay, so we can use the preposition behind. So now tell me, what is behind me? So behind me there is a board, okay. So if something is placed at the back, we can use the preposition behind, okay. So say it's a man, okay. There is a man, there is a man behind the car, okay. So car is a noun, behind is a preposition. Alright. So on the way to Kamalganj, lot of passengers takes the car and leaves the car. So when someone is taking the car, there is a movement, okay. So suppose it's an area, it's an area. If something goes inside that area, if there is a movement, then we have to use the preposition into, okay, into. If there is a movement, remember the word movement, okay. If there is a movement, if there is something which has a movement and it goes to a certain area, then we have to use the preposition into, okay. So the passengers go into the car, okay. So the passengers go into the car. All right. Now I am not going to write the sentence, so you keep it in mind. When something is going to a certain area, then we have to use the preposition into, okay. Now if something goes out of the area, then we can use out of, okay. So this is a certain area, and inside the area, if something goes out, okay, there is a movement, then we have to use the preposition out of, okay. So when something goes inside and there is a movement, what we use? Into. And when something goes out of a certain area, we have to use out of. So they are correlated. Into, out of. Into, out of. So into is the inward movement, out of is the outward movement, okay. So there is a movement, remember that. So the passengers go into the car and they get out of the car at their certain destination. All right. Okay. So say there is a man in front of. If something is in front of you, that means something is opposite to you, then we use the preposition in front of. So now I am facing the camera, that means the camera is in front of me. And what is behind? There is a board behind my back. So in front of me there is a camera, behind me there is a board. Okay, so in front of, behind, out of, in, inside, at, into, under, all of them are prepositions. So I hope you have understood these prepositions properly. Now, oh, there are more prepositions: over, above. So if something is on top of something, so if something is on top and it touches the surface, so it has to be touched. So the duster is on my hand, that means the duster has touched my head. There has to be a touch. Okay, it has to be touched, otherwise we cannot say on. Okay, if the matter is touched to something else, then we have to use the preposition on. So now what? There is no touch, so there is a gap between my head and the duster. So we cannot use the preposition on because it is not touched. Now touched, that means on my head. Not touched, we cannot use on. So what we can use now? Now we have to use the word above. Okay, above. So when there is no attachment, we have to use the preposition above. And remember that the duster is above my head, that means it is still. The duster is still, it is not moving. Okay, if the duster has a movement, then we have to use another preposition. Okay, if the duster has movement, we have to use another preposition, that is over. So if the matter has movement, we have to use the preposition over. If there is no movement, then we have to use above. Okay, if there is an attachment, then we have to use the word preposition on. So have you got it? So they both these three prepositions are correlated. Okay, touched, on, not touched, above, and if there is a movement, then it is over. And remember another thing. So the duster is, say it is big. Okay, the marker is small. Okay, so now we can write on. Okay, the duster is on the pen. Okay, all right. Now what we use, above or over? Obviously above. We can write over also here. Why? Because the duster has covered the marker. So over is used when there is a movement or when something covers something. Okay, it covers the the duster now. Okay, if it covers, then we can use over, and if there is a movement, we can use over. But if it doesn't cover, then we have to use above, and there is no movement. Okay, above, over, on. So these three prepositions are correlated. All right. So we are done with the picture of the car, I hope. Now let's get back to the next picture. So it looks messy, but if you take a close look, then you can understand. So I have, say it's a park. Okay, okay, suppose it's a park. Okay, there is a certain area. All right, so there are people inside that area, and we can see three people or three friends are sitting on a branch. Okay, there is a person, and there is a person who is taking selfie, standing under a lamp post and leaning against the lamp post. Okay, so let's take a close look. I have written here the preposition around. Okay, so around is if something is around something. Around means something, I mean, if it covers the whole area of a certain place, then we have to use the preposition around. So suppose there is a lake. Okay, there is a lake or a river that covers the whole area of the park, then we have to use the word the preposition around. So around is used when something covers the area of whole area of something. Okay, then we have to use around. So if we make a sentence using the word the preposition around, what we can write over here? So there is a lake around the park. So there is a lake around the park. That means the lake covers the whole area of the park. Okay, all right. Now there are three friends sitting at a certain place. Okay, this is the area of the park and they are sitting at a certain place, and that is the branch. Okay, say it Raju Memorial branch. Okay, or Raju Memorial Point. Okay, this is Raju Memorial Point, suppose. Okay, so there is a branch at the Raju Memorial Point, and where three friends are sitting. Okay, so say this one is Raju, this one is Rahul, and this one is Kamal. So Kamal is sitting next to Raju or beside Raju, and Rahul is sitting next to Raju or beside Raju or by Raju. Okay, next to. Okay, next to, beside, by. Okay, so if something is very close to something, then we can use the preposition next to. Okay, there shouldn't be any matter between them. Okay, so the word between is another preposition. If something is placed at the middle, then we have to use the preposition between. Okay, between. So this is next to or beside or by. This is next to, beside or by, and this matter is between these two matters. Okay, so if something is placed at the middle of two, okay, remember two, not more than two. Okay, if something is placed between at the middle of two, okay, then we have to use the preposition between. So where is Raju? Raju is sitting between Kamal and Rahul. Okay, so Raju is sitting between whom? Okay, Kamal and Rahul. Kamal and Rahul. Okay, so remember that if something is placed at the middle of two, then we have to use the preposition between. Okay, if something is placed or is specified at the middle of more than two, then we have to use the preposition among. Okay, so 1, 2 and this is at the middle, and if we add more, okay, now what? Now we cannot use between. Okay, now we have to use among. Okay, so if something is placed at the middle of two, then we have to use between, and if something is placed more than two, among more than two, then we have to use the preposition among. Okay, this is the difference. Two, at the middle of two, between, at the middle of more than two, among. Okay, so if we make a sentence using the preposition among, what we can write? Okay, so say there is a naughty student in the class. What we can say? So say Rahul is the most naughtiest student in the class. So what we can write? Rahul is the naughtiest okay, Rahul is the naughtiest. All right. Oh, I messed up with the word. Okay, naughtiest, Tiest. Okay, naughtiest student or boy among us. Okay, naughtiest student among us. That means among us means there are more than two students in the class and Rahul is the naughtiest. Okay, Rahul is the naughtiest. So among, when something is at the middle of more than two. Okay, now the preposition with. So with is used when something is with something. That means Raju, with whom Raju has gone to the park. Raju is with gone to the park with Rahul and Kamal. He didn't go to the park alone. He went to the park with Rahul and Kamal. Okay. Now towards. Okay, towards. Okay, there is a person and there is a lamppost. So the man is walking straight to the lamppost. So there is a movement and it is straight. He is not going anywhere else here and there. He is going straight to the lamppost. That means he is going towards the lamppost. That means his face is facing the target. Okay, so this person is going towards. If the movement is straight to something, then we have to use the preposition towards. Okay, so say I am going to the east. That means my movement is facing east. Okay, I am going to the east. That means I am going towards east. Okay, I am going towards east, I am going towards west. When I am going towards the market, I am going towards the school. Okay, all right. Now this man is standing under the lamppost. So we have already discussed about the function of the preposition under. Okay, so if something is below something, then we can use the word under. So this is the lamppost, and this person is standing under the lamppost, and he is taking a selfie. Okay, using his mobile. And what he is doing right now? He is doing right now, he is taking a selfie. And how he is taking the selfie? So his standing position is not like this. His standing position is that he is touching the lamppost. He is touching the lamppost. So there is a touch between that person and the lamppost. So if something is touched to something, then we have to use the preposition against. So his standing position is touched. Okay, so we have to use the preposition against to describe this person's standing position. Okay, so the man is standing under the lamppost, and he is taking a selfie standing against the lamppost. Okay, so clear? Under and against. Okay, between we have already talked about it. Among, against, towards, with, by, beside. All right, from, around. Okay, we are done with this picture. Now okay, here see the picture. Imagine this is a wall. Okay, all right, this is a wall, and suppose this is a house, and opposite to that, this is a wall, and there is a hole. There is a hole, and if someone crosses the road, then we have to use the preposition across. Okay, so across means something, we have to cross some certain place, and we have a target to go. Okay, so this is the house. If someone wants to go to that wall, he or she has to cross the road, and to describe the situation we can use the preposition across. Okay, so what we can say? There is a wall across my home. Okay, across the road. Okay, opposite to my house. Okay, so opposite, across. All right, so there is a hole on the wall. Okay, and if someone tries to go through, okay, enter the hole, and tries to go beyond the wall, then we can use the preposition through. Okay, so when he wants to cross the wall, go through that, there is a certain obstacle. Okay, it is not easy that he just goes out. Okay, if there is no obstacle, then we will use out of. Okay, if there is an obstacle, if he has to take some hard work, then we have to use through. Okay, so there is a wall across or opposite to my house, and there is a person who is trying to go through the wall. Okay, go through something means there has to be a movement, and there has to be some obstacle. Okay, all right. All right. Before home, we have to use at. I am not in home. I am at home. Okay, and hopefully you are clear with this picture. Okay, we have discussed all of this. Now the final part of today's lecture. So this is 2020. That means year. Okay. All right. Before year, we use the preposition in. Okay. I was born in say 1999, 1986, 1987. Okay. All right. Now this is June. That means month. Before month, we also use in. So before year, before month, before week, okay, we use and week. Before week, before month, before year, we use the preposition in. Okay, and before date, we use the preposition on. I will go to Dhaka on 5th of June. Okay, 5th of June. I will go to Dhaka on 5th. So this is the date, specific date. Okay, I will go to Dhaka on 5th of June. Alright, and we also use on before day. Alright, I will come on Friday, or I will return on Friday. I will go on 5th of June and I will return on Friday. Okay, alright, and my train is at 5 p.m. So before time we use at, and before day we use the preposition on. So in 2020, in June, on 5th, on Friday at 5 p.m. Alright. So let's count how many prepositions we have covered so far today. Along, in front of, into, under, in, inside, at, on, over, above, behind, out of, between. So to keep in mind, to remember all these prepositions, it is better to make sentences using the prepositions you have learned so far. So it will be easier for you to keep in mind and remember all the prepositions. There are a lot of prepositions more, probably in some in near future or in within some days we will try to cover. But before that, try to make sure that you have learned all the prepositions we have discussed today and make sentences. Remember, if you use these prepositions, then on only you can remember that, otherwise you might forget. Okay, so try to make sentences using these prepositions, and I will come out with some more prepositions, and hopefully I have made the prepositions as easy way as I could, and I hope you have learned a lot from today's lecture. See you next time with a new class, with a new topic. Till then, bye bye.